We are live. What's going on, everyone? Thank you all so much for tuning in at this time. Greatly appreciate it. Anybody that's watching this on the replay, thank you so much. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel. Great win. Nice start to finish. First quarter was, the intensity was there. Things were great, but it was that second quarter where we just really separated and was able to pull away, and then it was just no looking back from there. Now the intensity was there, the defense was there, which was huge. Guys hitting shots. D'Lo continues to be just a wizard. Dude, he's just, man, D'Lo's been on a tear. The guy's just he's been ridiculous. What else do you say, man? D'Lo is something else. But we'll touch on him throughout the live stream. I'm sure people are going to leave comments and questions and stuff about that. But in general, again, can the Lakers do this consistently? Right? Can the Lakers put this together game in and game out? We still have 3 games that I believe we should win. That would get us 3 games over 500 heading into February. And then hopefully, we have a trade somewhere in between now and then or shortly after, because then we play like the Boston Celtics. We got a tough stretch. February, March especially. March is brutal. And then to round out April, it's we got some tough games. So we really need to start creating some of that separation. We really need to start pulling away here, and start winning some of these games that we should be winning. This is it for the road trip, which is unfortunate that we didn't finish as good as I thought we would during this road trip. Like, I thought this was like an opportunity to really get, I was hoping to be 4 or 5 games over 500 by now already. It doesn't help when you start the road trip with 2 losses. Here, let's see real quick. What did we finish on this in the month of January thus far? So we lost 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we had 6 losses so far in the month of January. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 wins. So for a month that was mostly home games, we finished under 500. Like, it's not good. It's not good at all. To win 5, have 5 wins and 6 losses in this 11-game stretch, it's just not going to cut it. You're not going to be in a good position as the season progresses. So, look, we have an opportunity here. Our next 3 games are very winnable. Our next 3 games, I do believe we should win. You're talking our next 3 games are against the Warriors, who they just won, right? Didn't Steph hit a game winner in that game? So the Warriors, the Rockets, the Hawks. All 3 of those teams should be winnable games. All those games should be looked at as must-wins. Maybe by the time we play the Hawks, we'll have Dejounte Murray on the Hawks or on the Lakers. We'll see. Will they have Trae Young? It's the Lakers, so probably. Right? Every time the Lakers play somebody or that their star's missing or whatever, that star ends up showing up. But regardless, whether Dejounte Murray and Trae Young both play for the Hawks that game, we got to get that win. But outside of that, beyond that, you're going into February. Your first 2 games are against the Celtics, the Knicks. Then you have the Hornets, which could be very winnable. But then you got the Nuggets and the Pelicans on a back-to-back. And the Nuggets is the trade deadline day. So that Nuggets and Pelicans game, the Lakers may be incredibly short-handed. So we gotta stretch some of these wins right here. Go out, get 3 games over 500 going into February, and hopefully that'll be the answer. But anyway, let's jump into the box scores, and then we'll dive into all of your super chats and whatnot. And we'll see how the rest of this month plays out. But diving in to the box scores, let's start with D'Lo, because man, that dude was something else, right? 10 of 18 from the field, 8 of 13 from 3, which one of those misses was that like half court heave. 4 assists, 1 steal, 1 block, 2 turnovers, which is good. 29 points. Again, continues to just be spectacular. It's not even that he's playing great. It's just so dynamic and so just like it's been so fun to watch him these last few games because he is just in like a groove, man. He is playing out of his mind right now. D'Lo is seriously just, man, that dude is playing unbelievable right now. So credit him. Austin Reeves had a good game too. 7 of 9 from the field, 2 of 3 from 3, 8 assists. Also gave us 20 points. He also wasn't getting killed defensively this game, which was nice. Taurean Prince, done. You Mr. Consistent, gives you 3 to 4 threes a game, 5 of 8 from the field, 4 of 7 from 3. Excellent shooting. That corner is just automatic for him, man. Every time he gets that shot in the corner, he is just, it's going in. But he also had 4 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals, 14 points. LeBron James, 25, 12, 2 steals, and 4 rebounds. He was 10 of 19 from the field, 3 of 4 from 3. He shot the ball excellent. Anthony Davis, 10 of 18 from the floor, 22 points, 11 rebounds, 6 assists, 1 block. He was kind of, he had that injury scare. And then after the injury scare, everyone else was just kind of doing his thing. But I've always said I'm okay with that, right? That's one of the things that I do like about AD is if everyone's cruising and everyone's doing what they're supposed to be doing and everyone's, you have D'Lo cooking and you have Reeves cooking and Prince is cooking and everyone is, doing their part. AD is not like AD's totally fine. Just rebounding, playing defense, getting the occasional lob, getting the occasional buckets. That's one of the things that I love about him, right? Where so many stars, you see them, they have to get their touches. They're so demanding of the basketball, right? Sometimes that can kind of be frustrating because you're like, come on, AD, but games like this, it's like everyone's cooking. Why am I going to take away from like what they're doing? Let me just play and impact the game in a bunch of other ways. I love that stuff. I love seeing those kinds of things from AD. And he still had an excellent game, right? With 22 and 11 with 6 assists, which he just continues to play make so well. But Jared Vanderbilt, man, dude, this guy he's another guy that deserves a ton of love this game. He was putting on a clinic in like every manner, just being a cutter, being aggressive, playing defense, hustling, getting rebounds, deflecting passes, just doing everything. He was impressive. 8 of 11 from the field. He was 1 of 1 from 3-point range, 5 rebounds, 3 steals, 1 block, 17 points, man. If only we could get that with some regularity. Not even necessarily 17, but if he could just give us be basically a lock for 10 a game. Hit 1 or 2 threes, go, get a couple backdoor cuts. We'd be money. Rui, 3 of 3 from the field, 2 of 2 from 3, 10 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists. I love it. You had 7 guys in double figures, which, again, it's not a coincidence. Every time the Lakers have over 30 assists, I'm talking more than 30 assists, which they had 35 assists, take care of the basketball, only 10 turnovers. 12 turnovers. But still, that took care of the basketball, also shared the basketball, making the extra pass, finding the open man. And you have 6-7 guys in double figures. Lakers are going to win those games more times than not. So I love seeing it. Glad the Lakers were able to do that. I'm glad that, D'Lo continues to shine. Man, I just love what we're seeing from D'Lo right now. I really do. Genuinely. What D'Lo is putting together, he is just putting on a clinic. Just his passing and his scoring and his shooting and just – this is my concern. That's why I have my concerns about trading him. Look, the Lakers are going to trade him. It's more likely than not. We keep getting countless reports that say, hey, the Dejounte Murray deal is basically done. They're just trying to find that third team. The Charlotte Hornets are a team that is rumored to maybe facilitate that. The Wizards are a team that is maybe willing to facilitate that. I made a video about the Brooklyn Nets maybe being a team that can make sense doing that. And then literally 20 minutes after I made that video, there was a report that came out that said that the Nets may engage in that conversation. So look, it's unfortunate. I just want to see him succeed. I do. Like, D'Lo's so good. He's just so underrated, so undervalued. And I don't like to like throw out you see so many people like, oh, this guy's underrated, this guy's overrated, this guy's whatever. No, like D'Lo genuinely is. D'Lo gets such a bad rep. So many people talk about like, oh, but he's been traded so many times, but like failed to completely ignore all the circumstances around his trades. Right? He gets traded because of the Nick Young incident, and then we drafted Lonzo Ball, so he gets traded to the Nets. Then he gets traded for Kevin Durant. Literally, the Nets traded him to the Warriors for Kevin Durant. He was never going to stay with the Warriors. The whole point of getting D'Lo was to get an asset in which they could use to trade to go get somebody else, which that turned out to be Andrew Wiggins. Then he's doing great in Minnesota, but no one ever talks about it because he's in Minnesota. And Minnesota had like a 90% win rate when D'Lo scored 17 or more, right? He was great over there, but they wanted to re-sign him. He didn't want to re-sign. There's talks about him leaving, or they didn't want to pay him max money or whatever. So then he end up traded back to the Lakers, and now we're going to end up having to trade him again because they're concerned about the contract and stuff. So, the dude's been playing at another level. I love to see it. Just in general, the Lakers, this is a really good game. But again, can we consistently put these kinds of games together? That's the problem. Can we consistently, game in and game out, night in and night out, step up and play the game that we know we can play? Whenever the Lakers play this way, they win all of them. And it's not a coincidence. The Lakers have the talent. They just need to put it together. So we'll see. Time will tell. But anyway, again, real quick, hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button if you're not subscribed. And let's dive into all of your Super Chat questions, all of your regular questions, all that stuff. So let's go. Adam, if you could ask Rob Pelinka one question, what would you ask him? What's the plan? Right? That'd probably be the first answer. Like, all right, Rob, like, what are we doing here? What's the plan here? Like with everything. What's the direction? What are we trading for? What's the idea with Ham? Is he just riding out this season, which I believe he will, and then we'll reevaluate him? What are we doing? That would probably be my question. Like, what's the plan here? Because I'd really like to know. I'd really like to know, like, are we getting Dejounte Murray? Are we doing this? Are we doing that? That'd probably be the question. Back to 500, yes, but we gotta break that. Like, we got to get over that hump, right? We keep teetering back and forth. We're at 500 and then we lose, and then we're back to 500 and then we lose, and then we got to stop trading wins and losses. Shocker, Lakers win after losing. Exactly, right there with you, Bucka. It's crazy. We got to keep D'Lo now. I love keeping D'Lo. They're gonna trade him though. I don't like it. I don't like the idea. I think just pay him, get it done. If you have your team locked up, you're ready to go. I don't think it's gonna be that big of a deal, but yeah, they're going to end up trading him. We need defense. LOL. Yeah, definitely. Keep D'Lo. I would love it. Would love to see us pick up another big. I think we will sooner or later. Like, that's the easier part, right? Because the Lakers, Anthony Davis is going to play 35 minutes a game at the center position. Even in the playoffs, he's going to play 35 to 40 minutes a game at center position. You just need somebody that can be serviceable, that can come in, play a couple minutes, basically play 15 minutes a game or whatever, 15 to 20 minutes a game, and just, provide some an able body to throw at other guys. You don't need some elite center. You don't need anything like that. So to me, the center position is the least of my concerns. They'll get somebody, whether it's via buyout, whether it's like a small trade, maybe it's Richards or something like that. Maybe they go get Andre Drummond. I just think that they're focused on getting the guys that they believe will make the biggest impact, and then they'll take it from there. So I'm not worried about them picking up another big. I'm confident that they will. I mean, there's still even options out there as far as just on the free agent market, like even Bismack Biyombo. So I'm not really worried about it. D'Lo is playing great. He's playing fantastic. What's up? Let's go, Lakers. What's going on, Mike? Appreciate you. And yes, let's go. Poor Christian Wood. Yeah, dude. Wood, he's good, man, but they just don't utilize it, which is like crazy because Christian Wood, like Darvin Ham was like so adamant about Christian Wood. He was so like calling him every day. I mean, Christian Wood said it. Like I talked to Darvin Ham on the phone like every day, and he was like recruiting me and all that stuff. And the dude can like barely see the floor. The guy's always out of the rotation. Every time he gets substantial minutes in a role, he plays great. I don't get it. Still need a trade, absolutely, 100%. I'd rather keep D'Lo than Reeves also, but unfortunately, they're going to end up trading D'Lo. As it stands, man, Celtics are a team we don't want to mess with. Celtics are the best team in the league. I mean, it's that simple. I still don't really believe in them to win a championship. Kind of like the Clippers. I mean, the Clippers have, since the trade, the Clippers have literally been the best team in the league. They have like the best record post that trade, and that's with them going like 0-6 to start it. So, but again, with those two teams, I just don't believe in them. You know, it's one of those things like you gotta prove it to me, because every year it's the Celtics year. Every year it's the Clippers year. For the last like 10 years, it's been the Celtics and Clippers year. And every year they fall short. Now the Celtics lose in the conference finals, and the Clippers lose in the semifinals. Like every year. So it's just one of those things. Like they both have flaws. The Celtics, I still worry about Jason Tatum in the playoffs and big moments, big stretches. They still they have 12 losses, right? Something like that. And like 9 of their losses, they were tied with like 2 minutes or something like that. I was reading some like crazy statistic about that. And I was just like, that's crazy. Because what happens is they instead of moving the basketball and doing what they do best, they start going ISO heavy with Tatum and Brown. And that's just bad basketball. And teams take advantage of it and they lose. And that's my problem. They're so reliant on the 3-ball, right? They're a jump shooting team. And I just, outside of the Warriors, not very many that have ever won being jump shooting teams, Let's see. Hawks better give us a pick now, yeah. or the Nets or whoever ends up landing D'Lo. Good win. We still need to make some trades. Yes, agreed. Can we do this on the road? That is the question. That is definitely the question, which is my concern. All right, because we got 3 road games coming up, and we have not been a very good road team. It's going to take 2 firsts minimum to get Westbrook out of LA and get anything back from last season. And if it's really the stance around the league, then just keep D'Lo per Trevor Lane. What about Westbrook? Oh, I'm assuming Trevor's talking about how they were talking about Westbrook last season, and they're trying to compare that to D'Lo. I'm assuming that there was more to the quote than this. But look, every year we hear media and fans from other teams and all that stuff. What do they all say? Every single time. Oh, you don't have anybody that any other team wants. You're not going to do any trades. You're not going to do this. You're not going to do that. What this quote says, I have said countless times on this live stream, right? About how, look, everyone was saying last year it was going to take 2 firsts minimum for us to move Russ. And that's not even counting what we'd have to give up to get players back. And guess what? We ended up having to give up 1 unprotected first, and we got 3 guys that were key parts to us getting to the conference finals. Maybe not Beasley, but definitely D'Lo and Vanderbilt, right? So every year we hear the same sentiment. Every year it's all noise. It's people that either don't understand how trades work or they're just hating. There's a lot of reasons trades happen beyond the names on the back of the jersey. Very rarely does a trade look on the surface like it was a fair trade, right? Usually it's like there's one better player than the other, and the other team ended up getting fleeced. But then when you look at the entire scope of it, and it's like, oh, well, that team cleared like $30 million in cap space. So now they're going to have $40 million in cap space next season to retool and revamp things, right? they moved off of this long-term contract, or they got some extra picks in the deal, or they got, they were able to remove a protection or whatever. Like, there's a lot of reasons teams go and decide to make trades for various reasons outside of just the one-for-one player, right? And that's something that a lot of people don't grasp. I mean, you have the people that are just talking and just hating just to hate, but every year we hear it. Oh no, the Lakers aren't going to be able to trade anybody. And every year we end up getting somebody. Every year we end up getting something. Every year we end up making some type of trade. So now they said the same thing about Anthony Davis. Lakers don't have enough to get Anthony Davis. The Lakers aren't going to be able to get Anthony Davis. It's never going to happen. Forget it. But guess what? The Lakers got Anthony Davis. We won a championship. Said the same thing even about Russell Westbrook when we traded for him, right? As much as in hindsight we probably shouldn't have. But even then there were all the naysayers that were like, I don't see how the Lakers get to the path of Russell Westbrook, right? Like, they're going to have to trade like 5 firsts and all this stuff. And guess what? We got Russell Westbrook, and then they said we'd never be able to move him. We moved him for basically pennies. And then now we got all these guys that we're going to figure out. We're going to make various trades and watch. So tune out the noise. Trevor Lane is right. And look, if that is the case and you can't, then just keep D'Lo and figure it out in the offseason, right? Keep D'Lo, figure it out in the offseason. Go get, now you'll have 3 first-round picks. Go trade those picks and go get a superstar. Now, maybe you could get Donovan Mitchell or something. D'Lo's playing like he's about to get traded. Yeah, in fact. This is his farewell tour. The Lakers looked really good. They did. They looked excellent. Problem is, can they consistently look good is the problem. Warriors might not even make the play-in tournament. They're probably not. They've just been really bad this year. Unless they get some trade that turns things around, I just don't see what that trade is. If I'm being honest. I don't know what kind of move they're going to be able to make that's going to put them back in a real position. But Vanderbilt had 17 points. Yes. Imagine wanting to trade for an overrated scrub like Zach LaVine. I like Zach LaVine. I don't think he's an overrated scrub. But the Lakers aren't going to trade for him now. What do you think of this? If we give Brooklyn Rui for Dorian Finney-Smith, do you think they would give us some draft compensation back? I really like Dorian Finney-Smith on this team. Would they give us draft compensation back? No, I don't see that. I think we could get Dorian Finney-Smith, though. I made a video earlier talking about the Nets being like that third team for us. And then it was reported that the Nets might engage and actually be in the third team, which I think is kind of funny. It just makes sense, right? They got Spencer Dinwiddie. There's your expiring contract. They need a playmaker desperately, and D'Lo is that guy. So I think, you could probably pull something off. Like what I was talking about in the video is basically turning D'Lo and Rui into Royce O'Neal and Dorian Finney-Smith, and then also getting Dejounte Murray. Spencer Dinwiddie goes there, and then you have Rui and Jalen Hood-Schifino or whatever going to the Nets, or you throw in some other piece, right? Maybe you throw in Jackson Hayes or something just to make the money work. I would love that. Even if it's just Spencer Dinwiddie, I would love that. A lot of people were like, oh, Spencer Dinwiddie's been horrible the last few games. Spencer Dinwiddie, I'm not going to judge somebody off of 4 games when their entire career and their entire season outside of these last 3 or 4 games. He's been basically a lock for 40% from 3 or 38 to 40% from 3 and one of the better defensive wings in the league. Go get me that guy. I don't care. And again, they have no playmaker. If people actually watch Brooklyn play, that guy has to generate all his own offense, right? Look at Taurean Prince. The dude doesn't have to do anything. He literally just stands in the corner and waits. And he waits, and he waits. Oh, there it is. Boom, splash. Imagine if that was Finney-Smith. He'd be an upgrade over Vanderbilt and Cam Reddish on the offensive side. And he's better defensively than Taurean Prince. So you basically get an upgraded Taurean Prince. Give me that. I will take that all day. And he's a veteran. He's savvy. I love it. They cannot possibly still be trying to trade D'Lo. No way. Oh, and hold Caruso hostage. Don't let him leave crypto. Yeah, facts. Right? Keep Caruso. Do not let him go. Tell him you need to talk to about something and chain him up. No, but I the deal is not about D'Lo's play. It's about the money. They're worried about the money. I don't think it's as big of a concern as some people make it. Because again, I mean, if you have your team locked, the Lakers have their team locked up anyway. The cap situation is going to be rough anyway. Like it's not like Murray's making $17 million the next 4 years. No, next year his contract jumps up to what is it, almost $25 million, and then you're talking it increases every year. All right, up until it gets to $30 million. So you're gonna have him. You're gonna have to give LeBron a new contract. He's gonna want a max. You have all the other guys that you have on this roster. You have to give Max Christie a contract, and he's probably gonna make more than $8 million a year, right? So it's just the problem is that like the Lakers are in cap troubles anyway, and I don't think D'Lo is going to leave. Like people are concerned about D'Lo leaving. Like if he has a role, he has a home, and he's thriving, he's not going to leave, right? Like he wants to be the Laker. He wants to be in LA. Like that he didn't want to leave to begin with. He was crying and upset that we traded him in the first place, right? Like I don't see him leaving, and he's not going to demand $30 million. Like no one's going to pay him that much money anyway, right? Even if he is playing this well. Right, because people are still going to be concerned about the playoffs and all kinds. Like, at most he'll probably get $25 million, right? But maybe if he's in LA and you're like, hey man, like we can't give you $25 million because of the April thing, we could give you a $20 million a year. He might take the $20 million a year just to be able to stay in LA long term. The problem is if he's continuously in trade rumors and speculation, and then yes, he's gonna leave. Why would you want to stay somewhere where it's like these people don't want me? Cue the Will Smith meme, like why don't they want me, man? But like I just the problem is, and this was something that I've repeated, is like if you trade for Dejounte Murray, I believe you have to trade D'Lo. And it's not because I want to trade D'Lo. Like, look, I've been in the forefront of like keep D'Lo. Even before this streak, and now everyone's on my side. I was saying I like the idea of keeping D'Lo over Reeves. I mean, I made videos like a month and a half ago when Dejounte Murray wasn't even a thought. When it was DeMar DeRozan and Alex Caruso, I was like, we should keep D'Lo. I don't think we should trade D'Lo. But regardless, they're going to end up trading D'Lo because they're worried about the cap situation. They're worried about him leaving, and they're trying to find their long-term answer, which Dejounte Murray would be that. Dejounte Murray is a slight upgrade. He's not like, I don't think he's like this astronomical upgrade. Now, if he gets back to like the Spurs all-star level Dejounte Murray, and he can continue to shoot 40% from three, then that might be enough of a gap. But it's just, unfortunately, they're going to trade D'Lo. They're going to have to trade D'Lo. And I think if you trade for Dejounte Murray, you're going to have to trade D'Lo because like D'Lo's thriving right now because the ball is in his hands. D'Lo is thriving right now because he's getting to have the basketball, right? Like the problem is that if you get Dejounte Murray, you're going to put the ball in his hands. Now D'Lo's going to have to play the shooting guard. It may work, but there's no guarantee. That's kind of why, like, if you're not going to trade D'Lo, you'd have to get the trade done now. Give up Reeves, go get Dejounte Murray, because that would give you time to kind of weigh and see, like, how does D'Lo and Murray look? Do they both look good together? And if they don't, then you have time to trade D'Lo. But more likely than not, this trade's not going to happen until closer to the trade deadline, and then they're going to end up trading D'Lo. So, I hope it happens sooner. Again, I would love to wake up in the morning and all of a sudden we have a trade alert. Like, but more likely than not, it's not going to happen for another probably a week and a half, 2 weeks. When Lakers play like this, it's hard to want to trade anyone because potential be great is there. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. I mean, when the Lakers play great, they look, you're like, man, don't trade anybody. Keep this roster. But when they play bad, it's like, okay, get rid of everybody. I mean, that's usually how it goes. But like the problem is we have enough sample size to show the Lakers they're not consistent enough. Right? They're just not good enough. And you got to get a couple trades. I don't think the Lakers need like 7 new guys, like, revamp the entire roster. No, I think if you get like 2 to 3, like upgraded type players, I think that would be enough, right? Because let's say Dejounte Murray, he's going to be like a blue chip upgrade, right? He's better than a role player, right? He's an all-star, borderline all-star type guy. So he's going to have a huge impact for the Lakers, assuming he fits. So beyond him, I think if you could go get just like two quality guys, like a Dorian Finney-Smith and a Nick Richards, boom, I think the Lakers would be great, right? Because you'd still have, you'd still have LeBron and AD, you'd still have Jared Vanderbilt, you'd still have Taurean Prince, you'd still have the guys that are doing really well. Like, basically take the guys that are like fringe, like they could do better in other places, trade those guys, keep the guys that have played well for you, go get some, better complementary fits. And I think the Lakers could be right back in that conversation of like top team. But time will tell. We'll see. What's up, T? D'Lo trying to make it hard for the front office. Yeah, without a doubt. Jovan Buha was talking about how D'Lo's play recently has kind of made the Lakers question, is it worth giving up everything for? Which makes sense. We need D'Lo. I am with you. 5 and 6. Yeah, 5 and 6. How's D'Lo's performance tonight? It was unbelievable. The guy was he was A1 for sure. A1 for sure. LaVine has no trade value. He does not right now. I'll keep saying it. Do not trade D'Lo. Do not trade D'Lo. I am with you. I would personally give up a significant draft compensation for Caruso. He will absolutely close first. Yeah, I would be if we had basically all of our picks. I would be like, go give up a first and go get Alex Caruso. Do what you got to do to get Alex Caruso. Look, I've said, and I said this like 2 months ago or like a month and a half ago. It's been a long time since I said this, and everyone told me I was an idiot. I said I would be willing to trade Alex Caruso, or I'd be willing to trade Austin Reeves to go get Alex Caruso. And people were like, oh, what are you talking about? Like, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I'm telling you, go get me Caruso. Now, at the time, I thought we were getting Zach LaVine, right? I thought Zach LaVine was on the table. I thought that was the move that the Lakers were going to make. But I would still take Caruso. Go get Dejounte Murray and get me Alex Caruso. There's basically all of our issues. Right now, you got your starting five can be Dejounte Murray, Alex Caruso. You could even go with Jared Vanderbilt because Caruso's shooting like 45% from three or whatever. So you'd have more than enough offense. I mean, imagine that front of Murray, Caruso, and Vanderbilt. Good luck. Give me that. I would trade Reeves in a heartbeat for Alex Caruso. Because Caruso would just be a better fit and a bigger need. Give me Caruso, right? So, but that's just me. I think a lot more people would agree now. I think a lot less people would be like, you're an idiot. But do you still want everybody like Murray, LaVine, Jones? Yeah, absolutely. I would still, right now, if I could trade basically everybody to go get Dejounte Murray, Zach LaVine, and Tyus Jones. I'm assuming I wouldn't want Tyus Jones if we got Murray and LaVine. But again, if I could get Murray, LaVine, and Drummond or something like that, let's do that. I'm all for that. Right? I would have some concerns about fit with Murray, LaVine, LeBron, and AD. But if they figure that out, they're the best team in the league. And you'd be the best team in the league for a while. It's just health would be a big thing. But even post LeBron, you'd still have Murray, LaVine, Vando, and Anthony Davis. Yeah, I would still absolutely do it. We are horrible defensively, and we should get DeMar. I would like DeMar, but Chicago's not going to trade DeMar. Despite D'Lo playing really good, they are more than likely still going to trade him. Yeah, they are. They're worried about the contract implications. Harrison Barnes, bro. You jinxed it. You like to jinx it. Jinx what? Reeves fouling a 3-point shot twice is something, yeah. 6-15 on the road. That's my concern. Can they start stringing together some road wins? We finished 500. Yeah, basically. We need some offense to win games. Plus, the Lakers need a better coach. Hopefully, next season they have a better coach because LeBron and AD don't deserve this whack team or coach. Yeah, I don't see them firing Darvin Ham this season. Even when there was all like the talks of like, oh, Darvin Ham's on the hot seat. Like if he loses this game, they're gonna fire him. I was like, I don't see it. I'll believe it when I see it. I still think that that they're not going to fire him this year. They'll evaluate it based on how he does this year. They'll look at it next year. Let's see. The Knicks busted the Nuggets earlier. Yeah, they busted. OG's been great for them. Great. Fire Ham his rotations. So, yeah, they're not going to do that this year. Need to trade desperately. Also, Scam has to go. Yeah, I'm with you, but they're not going to, like I said, they're not going to trade Darvin Ham. Or not trade, fire Darvin Ham, not this year. Let's see. All right. Break it down for me, Tyler. Who played well and who sucked? Didn't get to watch the game. Well, D'Lo continued to be just like electric. He was unbelievable. LeBron and AD did LeBron and AD things. As far as like guys that sucked, I don't think no one really sucked today. Everyone was good. Everyone played their part. Everyone played their role. You had 7 guys double figures. Everyone was moving the basketball. Everyone was shooting excellent. Even Austin Reeves. Obviously a couple miscues defensively, needed to be better, especially towards the end. The Lakers were good, and that the second and third quarter they were excellent. But then they kind of took their foot off the gas, and I mean I didn't think that they were ever going to lose that game. They were up like 20 something in the fourth. But they let them get it to like, what was it, 12 or whatever at one point. And, I'd like them to kind of keep that intensity, right? Like, I'm not saying you have to beat them by 30, but don't let it get too out of hand. But outside of that, I mean, everyone had a really good game. Like, this was one of their better games all around. Just, again, effort towards the end of the game. Let's see. D'Lo proving he shouldn't be traded. Yeah. Great game of late. Still think we should trade Ham for a pound of bacon. Yeah. Let's see. D'Lo's defense is much improved. Yeah. D'Lo's been excellent defensively this year. Again, he's not elite. He's not like an all defensive guy, but he's been very good this year. As stands, about to say AR still getting buckets. But I still think we need to make a trade with him involved. Look, I like Austin Reeves playing the way he played today. Problem is like he hasn't been able to do that all season, right? Like if we trade D'Lo and we get Dejounte Murray, if Austin Reeves can get back to being Austin Reeves, then I think this team could be terrifying, right? But a lot of it is also his shot because he's just not hitting the open shot, which just like shrinks the floor, and teams are starting to be comfortable with just letting him shoot threes, and they'd rather pack the paint and stuff. But like if AR starts hitting some shots, that just opens up so much more for the Lakers. It opens so much more for him. It changes everything, right? I still think Austin Reeves should be our 6th man. I just do. I think I would love go get Dejounte Murray, go get anybody, right? Hunter, go get a Bogdanovich, go get somebody that could play the 2, right? Even Dorian Finney-Smith, I wouldn't hate putting at the 2 and then having Vando at the 3, right? Go do something like that. Move Reeves to the bench. Let him be your 6th man, and let's go win some games. Let's see. Vando out here scoring. Vando was hooping tonight. Ham almost sold this game. The Lakers were going to lose this game. Keeps changing rotations every night. Lucky LeBron is playing. Let's see. Vando needs to be back in the starting lineup. I think so too. So Darvin Ham made comments about it, and he basically said what I've been saying, like why he's in the starting unit. Basically, it's just his shooting. He's just been so consistent shooting the 3 ball this year. He likes him for the floor spacing for Anthony Davis and LeBron James. You want to surround him with shooters, stuff like that. I mean, look, I've said it before. I completely get why Darvin Ham starts Taurean Prince. there is a lot of sense in it, and he has been so good for them this year. But I just think if you have Austin Reeves and D'Lo in the starting unit, you need to balance that out with Jared Vanderbilt, especially the way that D'Lo is shooting and playing right now. Now, if you go get Dejounte Murray, so look, if it was me, I would, if they go get Dejounte Murray, it's just me. If they go get Dejounte Murray, I would start Murray Prince at the 2. So, because that's what he is a 2, right? So I would go Murray, Prince, Vanderbilt, LeBron, and AD. That would be my starting 5. Move Reeves to the bench. And now you have Taurean Prince for shooting. You have Dejounte Murray who could drive a kick and hopefully to shoot 80%. And now you got Jared Vanderbilt. So you got your point of attack defender and Dejounte Murray. You have your defensive lockdown guy in Jared Vanderbilt. You got Prince that can shoot 30% from 3, and he's serviceable defensively. He's not great. He's not a leader or any of that, but he's good enough. And then you got LeBron and AD. Like, that's what I would do post the Murray trade. Because the thing is that if you go get Dejounte Murray, like, you could just keep the same 5 and just basically swap D'Lo with Murray. But I just think with D'Lo's skill set and how poorly Austin Reeves has shot this year, I just think you have Dejounte Murray, you keep Prince in the starting unit, you move Reeves to the bench, and then put Vando in. But again, those are my thoughts. Vando played his heart out, and LeBron shooting so much better from 3. He can either win you games, shoot you out of one 3-point shooter. Yeah, which, luckily he's shooting so well this year. He's been very good shooting the ball this year. And Jerry Vanderbilt was A1 this game. Bro was attacking the basket all game, and he's got 2 free throw attempts. It is ridiculous, bro. I'm with you. And then they give LeBron a tech for complaining. Like, blow the whistle, man. This guy, all he does is drive to the hoop, and it's just getting hammered. And teams are hammering him on purpose because they know you're not going to call it. Like, I would be hammering him too. Every time you come in the lane, Bron, you're getting smacked. I'm hitting you as hard as I can every time you come in the lane because they ain't going to call it. So who cares, right? And that's a problem. That's a real problem. I'm not saying you have to call a foul every single time, but 2 free throws is ridiculous. Ridiculous. When basically all he did was just drive to the paint all game. Let's see. As stands, I still want to trade to happen. I am right there with you. I still want. I still think a trade needs to happen, and I still believe a trade will happen. Let's see. Y'all want D'Lo, but answer me this: what has he done that LaVine hasn't? As far as D'Lo goes, they're not gonna. You can't trade D'Lo for LaVine straight up. Otherwise, I wouldn't mind that. You have to give it to several other guys, and they're not going to trade. They're not going to trade for Zach LaVine. The report came out. Zach LaVine's out for another week for evaluations. Who was it? Was it Shams? Shams or somebody like that. Shams or somebody said that they believe Zach LaVine has a bigger injury than what was advertised. But they're trying to trade him. So. Let's see. Was watching the Golden State Warriors game. That team is so trash. It's not even funny. Obviously, they can beat teams on any given night. But, my goodness, I've never seen an organization that refuses to change their ways like they do. Yeah, they're just like stuck in their belief system that they are going to that their ways still work. They just not good anymore. They really aren't. Teams have caught up, and it's just Steph Curry doing everything he can. Steve Kerr just like refuses to play Jonathan Kuminga significantly, and that guy is like killing it every game. Like he's been there, like not outside of Steph Curry. Jonathan Kuminga has been arguably the best player all season for them. I don't know what he finished with, but I know he had like last I checked, he had like 25 or something like that. Let's go see what he had. So Jonathan Kuminga was 12 of 19 from the field, 2 of 4 from 3. And had 31 points, was a plus 16. He was their highest plus minus at plus 16. He had 2 steals, 3 assists, 3 rebounds. Like, I think it's just me. Again, I think they need to come to a conclusion. What are we doing here? I think you either decide, okay, we're gonna retool around Steph, trade everybody, go build basically the best team you possibly can around Steph Curry and try to push for another championship, or just say, hey, let's hit the reset button, keep Jonathan Kuminga, keep Moses Moody, keep all the young guys, keep Pod, all that stuff, and trade everybody, including Steph, right? I know Golden State fans wouldn't be happy about that, but, like, what are you doing here? Like, you have Steph Curry doing everything he can, and yet they're just terrible, right? Like, Steph is literally like doing absolute heroics out here. He had 33 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists. He was 6 of 14 from 3, 13 of 26 from the field. He's been their best player. Like, but they can't win games. It's crazy. And we needed the Warriors to win today because we need Sacramento to keep dropping because they're in front of us. So still need to trade. If we got to choose between D'Lo and Reeves, anybody with sense can clearly see, we need to keep D'Lo. Yeah. But yeah, we definitely need to trade. What's up, Melvin? Appreciate you being here. Go Lakers. I am with you. Levine is a better player than D'Lo. Yes, Levine. You guys notice Vando loses the ball all the time. He has butterfingers. Yeah, he's been better this year than last year, but yeah, he definitely needs to do a better job of keeping control of the basketball. I love Vando, but he has no moves on offense. All he can do is hold the ball. Yeah, but he's not in there for the offense purposes. I mean, you'd hope he'd gain some shooting over time. Hopefully he can continue to get his shots. Problem is that, like, he put in all that work in the offseason and then immediately got hurt. So it's like he hasn't gotten the reps. And you can't replicate game time shooting and stuff. So I don't know. Hopefully as the season progresses, he gets more comfortable. He gets more to feel that memory of what he did in the offseason starts kicking in. Let's see. What's going on, Jay? Appreciate you being here. Shout out to us. Yes, Jay. Appreciate you. Appreciate you as always. Bro, it doesn't matter if the deal is done. The deal can be scrapped. D'Lo ain't going anywhere. The deal can be rescinded. Yeah, no deal is done until it's finalized. Who do you think we should trade for at the trade deadline? Well, it looks like it's going to be Dejounte Murray. Outside of Dejounte Murray, guys that I'd love to see is like Dorian Finney-Smith, Royce O'Neal. Give us some like 3-and-D style guys. Kind of give us some upgrades there. Outside of that, I'm cool with like a Tyus Jones and like a backup role. Some centers. Go get me Andre Drummond. Go get me like Nick Richards. Can you go get Gafford? Right? Things like that. Just upgraded quality rotation guys is what I'd like to see. Sorry, trying to find something. A trio of D'Lo, Caruso, and Kobe White will feed generations. Yeah, Vando definitely has some needs to do a better job catching the basketball. Dejounte Murray is interesting. I'd trade Reeves for him. I would too. I think they should, but they're going to end up trading D'Lo for him. Unfortunately. Vando ready to start again. I think they should start him. They're not going to, unfortunately. They're going to end up keeping Prince in the starting lineup. I think if the Bulls had Lonzo and Zach in this game, we would have lost, but a good win for the Lakers. We got to keep fighting. The Chicago was really good with Lonzo Ball because he was the guy that kind of put it all together. And he was shooting like 44% from 3 before he got hurt. So he was shooting the 3 ball excellent. He was he was the glue guy that basically put it all together, so it wasn't a bunch of just like stagnant offense at times, right? It wasn't as ISO heavy. Our defense so bad, man. It was better early, and then once we got that big lead, we just took our foot off the gas. But yeah, our defense can be bad. We can't trade Reeves for Murray. We can. They're just not going to because they're worried about D'Lo's contract next season, and they want to try to stay under the second tax aprons. That way, they could get some other moves. They can stay if they can like get out of the repeater tax, then they'd be able to use their exceptions and stuff. So. It's kind of what it is, but they're unfortunately they could trade Reeves. They could trade Reeves for Murray today if they wanted to, but they're just not going to. Glad we won, but giving up 75 points in the second half to the Bulls without Zach LaVine is ridiculous. Shake my head. Yeah, they took their foot off the gas once they got big lead, which I don't like to see that. I feel bad for Christian Wood. He is definitely better than what we're seeing out there. I am on the Lakers. Oh, 100%. 100%. I feel bad for him too. Like, just let that guy get some meaningful minutes. Put him in real position to see. I'm telling you, that guy could be off the bench. I think he could be a 10-8 guy if you gave him like consistently 20 minutes a game and actually let him play a role that suits him, right? Austin Reeves keeps fouling three-point shooters. See what is it called on defense? D'Lo never puts his hands up on defense. He does, but he does that little like hands down thing, so he doesn't get called for fouls because the way that they call fouls all the time. He was doing that against like James Harden and stuff a lot. I know it like frustrates a lot of people, but I actually get why he does it, right? Because it's why Austin Reeves keeps getting called fouls. He keeps putting his hands up. I'd rather go for Brogdon and Drummond and bring Lowry in off of buyout. Brogdon plays defense, 50, 40, 90 guy. Problem is, like, Brogdon, like, people talk about injury-prone players. Brogdon might be the most injury-prone player in the league. Like, that dude's constantly hurt and, like, constantly in and out of games. He is great, but he's also making he's making too much. He's not worth – he's making, like, $22 million or something like that. He's just not worth that. Not with just, like, his injury concerns, age, all that stuff, but – I wouldn't hate it. Like if they found a way to go get Brogdon, I'd be all for it. Let's see what else. We need to sell the farm to get Caruso. I would be all for that, but I don't think they're going to trade Caruso. Hypothetically, Clippers versus Celtics in the finals, who's winning? I think the Celtics run through the Clippers. I just think that they have just younger versions of like Paul George and Kawhi Leonard at this point. I think that their like top 5 is better. And I think defensively the Celtics are better. I think the Celtics would get it done. But I think that would be a fun series. I really do. But I think the Celtics do. I think the Celtics would – like if they played the Clippers, I think they beat the Clippers in like 6 games tops. I don't think it goes to like 7 or anything like that. Caruso only makes $9.5 million, which is crazy for as good as he is. When Bulls about to make a comeback, why did Ham let Prince stay in instead of Vanderbilt when Vando was playing so well in this game? I mean, Prince was playing well too. The offense, keep the offense out there. I mean, he could have swapped them, but, the defense basically let up entirely. So you need the offense to continue to score. The Clippers do look scary this year. They look very scary this year. The problem is, like I said, I can't believe in them. Every year it's their year. And every year they drop the ball. I hate to say it, but probably Boston. Yeah, Boston wins that. Let's see. I hope Lakers can beat the Warriors next game. I do too. I'm right there with you. Murray is just going to be Westbrook 2.0. That 3-point percentage is going to nosedive, and the paint is going to get clogged up. Murray alone solves like 1/3 of the problems. Need more 3 and D. Yeah, if you just get Murray by himself, I don't think that that's enough. But if you get Murray and then you go get a couple other pieces, then yes, I think you could be in good position. I do have concerns about him being Westbrook 2.0. He's not a good rim finisher. He's a better shooter, period, though. Even if like he drops back down to 34% from three, right? He's excellent. He's one of the better like pull up shooters. He's one of the best shooters off the dribble. He's in like the 80 percentile and all that stuff. So like he still would be able to score and stretch the floor a bit, but I do have concerns about like the fit. We need trade for all-star players, the Lakers like Donovan Mitchell and Trae Young, if those guys ever become available. Let's see. Then I take Reeves, Finney-Smith, and a pick. Yeah, I like the idea of Dorian Finney-Smith. If we get like Nick Richards, Murray, Caruso, then I would put a lot of money on us to win it all. Yeah, if we get something like that, that would just be that. To me, that would be A1. I like Richards and Murray. I think is realistic. Caruso, not so much. They want like 2 seconds or 2 firsts for Caruso, and like a rotation guy. Like, and the sad thing is they'd probably get something close to that. Let's see. I feel like at this point, overpaying for Caruso is the way to go. The problem is like the Lakers don't really have assets to overpay for Caruso. They're going to trade almost all their assets to go get Dejounte Murray. So it's like, what else are you going to – you're not going to have any more firsts or anything. How different do you think the Lakers would be if Gabe never got injured? I mean, they'd be better. Well, I don't know, because Gabe Vincent was bad when he did play. He was like, before the first injury, he was like 1 of 15 from 3. And then like when he came back, he was like, he was like 1 of 5 or something, or 2 of 5. So he's like 13 of like 20 or something, or 3 of like 20 from 3-point range. So if that continued, then I think he'd be a problem. He'd be an issue. But let's assume that he was like the guy he was last year for the Heat, which, again, he wasn't great for Miami till the playoffs. But, like, even if you get that guy, I think the Lakers would be slightly better. You know, I think maybe 1 or 2 games better at worst. You know, maybe 3 or 4 games at best. Like, I don't think he's a guy that's, like, by himself he's gonna be like the Lakers would be a top 3 team or anything like that. But I do think, you know, there probably would have been a game. Like we even saw it in like preseason where like he went off for like 18. There probably would have been a game at some point this season where he just went off and just hit 5 threes and gave you 20 points or something. And they probably win that game. Also defensively, they'd probably be better in that regard. So I do think the Lakers, my guess is they'd probably be like 2 games better, 2, maybe 3 games better than they are right now. That would kind of be my guess. All we need is Caruso, keep D'Lo, trade Gabe, plus first-round pick for Caruso. Problem is they wouldn't want Gabe Vincent. And 2, they want 2 firsts for Caruso. And the sad thing is they'll probably get that from somebody. Some team will probably pony that up. I love the way D'Lo passes the ball to Davis. Yes. Let's see. I mean, D'Lo's trade value isn't better than Zach's. They want us to give up a pick in a D'Lo trade. Yeah, supposedly. Tyler's hidden talent seen in the NBA future. Yeah, apparently, that's apparently that's a hidden secret I wasn't aware of until I started doing this. They're back on that bike. D'Lo is balling. Now everyone wants Schmied now. If we add value, the Murray trade would be done. There's a reason Lakers are struggling to find a third team. It's the market. It's just how many teams. There's very few teams that actually need D'Lo, right? And also, they have to have matching expiring salaries. Like it's not as like straightforward as you think. I'm sure there's a couple teams that were like, oh, like we could unload these guys to go get D'Lo, but does that make sense for the Nets? Right? That's the problem. Like they want a very specific package. Where if they were just like, hey, we don't want D'Lo, go get us just some other player that we could add to our roster or something, then yeah. That's why I think the Nets make a lot of sense because like Spencer Dinwiddie would actually probably be good next to Trae Young because you have a defensive guard that could be a point of attack. He's not a great playmaker, but he can play off ball. Like Dejounte is going to go sign with the Bucks. Well, if that happens, not happening for at least another 4 years. Keep D'Lo. I think the more D'Lo balls, the more he scores and gets Bron and AD going, and better will be AR. Yeah, I would love to keep him personally. Someone give Vando some chalk powder. That was great. Maybe Rui and Gabe Vincent need to be traded. Yeah, the problem is like no one's gonna want Gabe Vincent. He hasn't played all year, and there's no like. What if you trade for him and he's out the rest of the season and like he just never comes back the same? Like if he was playing this year and he was not even great, just like half decent, then I think the Lakers could have traded him because he has good value contract. Like teams know that like he'll show up in the playoffs. He's not afraid of the moment. Gives you a point of attack defense guy. Teams would like Gabe Vincent, but right now there's no like you don't even know if Gabe Vincent can play. So that's the problem. Let's see. Tyler be capped. Capped about what? What did I cap about? I'm assuming that's about me talking about the Nets thing. Again, go look at the timestamps. Look at the time that I posted the video. Look at the time that the reports came out. I don't have it. I'm not an insider. Like I don't talk to any of these people. I don't know anything. And you're talking like it took me probably 2 hours to like make and edit that video. So literally, like even at the time that I posted it, you're talking making it or recording it, editing it, getting it uploaded, and then scheduling it for post. So yeah, I don't need a cap. The proof is in the pudding. Murray looked good defensively during the playoffs with the Hawks. Yeah, that's the hope is that he locks down and is better. That's at least the hope. Let's say we trade for a guard that isn't Murray and we still get to keep the ball in D'Lo's hands. What would that guard be? If you're going to do something like that, you should go get Zach LaVine. Like the concerns are the injuries, but like if you're going to keep the ball in D'Lo's hands, Zach LaVine would be the best available player to play off ball and just be a shooter and scorer. He's like 45% on catch, shoot threes. Outside of him, that's where things get tough because based on the guys that are available, they're either all point guards like a Tyus Jones or something like that, or they don't shoot well. Like a Bruce Brown is not a good shooter, right? So, again, that's where things would get tough. Again, probably Zach LaVine, and then I'd rather go get a guy that could play the 2 or the 3. Like I think Dorian Finney-Smith you could put at 2 if you needed to. Go do something like that. Like keep the ball in D'Lo's hands. Go get basically a 3-and-D shooter, or just keep Prince at the 2, and then just go upgrade around the areas. Let's see. I will never turn down the opportunity to call you an idiot, Tyler. Which reminds me, you're only human. Thank you, Blanca. And that's why I can always count on you. Whenever I need somebody to remind me I'm an idiot, that's where you come in. Let's see. What do you think about Olynyk? I don't trust these new young centers like Richards, Gafford type guys during the playoffs. Give me a guy that can space the floor. I like Olynyk. I like Olynyk a lot, but he's more of like a 4 than he is a 5. Like, yeah, he's 7 feet, but he's not a guy like. The reason I like the idea of Richards and Gafford, and I do agree there are concerns come playoff time because of their inexperience, but a couple things about that. One, is that you know that they're 7-footers, you know that they're big bodies, and you're not going to be asking them to play 30 minutes a game. You're just asking them to basically just come in and not get destroyed while AD gets 10 minutes of rest a game, right? Like, so if you were bringing them in to play a big role, like if you were like bringing them in to be your starting center, then I would be like, yeah, you probably go get like Olynyk or something like that. But in just a backup role, limited minutes, come in, play a small role. I think I'd rather go with a Richards or Gafford. But I do like Olynyk. Like if the Lakers traded for Olynyk, I'd be pumped. I'd be stoked. Because he can play. He's not afraid. He's tough. Right? He can stretch the floor. He can hit shots, everything. Caruso, Dorian Finney-Smith, I'd keep D'Lo or Reeves take our chances. I wouldn't mind something like that either. I prefer LaVine, Caruso, Drummond. Only way Caruso, in my opinion, is through LaVine. That's kind of my thing too. It's like that would be kind of your argument. Like Chicago gets desperate, and you're like, well, we'll take LaVine if you give us Caruso. Kind of figure that out. I already said Ham is staying for the rest of the season. Yeah, I don't see him going anywhere this season. Yeah, they support Darvin Ham, wasn't they? Where are you with the John Murray? I'm assuming Dejounte Murray trade. If you mean like where am I as far as like my thoughts on the potential trade? One, it depends on what you give up and how it ultimately plays out. Yes, there's like reports and rumors of like, oh, it's going to be D'Lo to a third team pick swap, right? But that doesn't mean that that's what that'll ultimately be. Personally, I'd like for them to go get other pieces, right? Like, can you go get a Bogdanovich? Can you go get a Hunter also? Right? Like, can you figure something out or go get some other pieces from that third team? As I mentioned, like the Nets, can you go get a Dorian Finney-Smith? Excuse me. Can you go get a Royce O'Neal? If it's the Wizards, can you get a Tyus Jones and a Daniel Gafford? If it's whoever, right? If it's who's another team that Hornets, right? Charlotte. Can you get a Nick Richards and like a Miles Bridges? Something like that, right? Like to me, it's what else are you getting from Murray? Look, if the Lakers trade for Dejounte Murray, I will be stoked. I will be happy. He's an excellent player. Don't get me wrong. I mean, he's very good, very talented. As I was mentioning earlier, he's in like the 80 percentile on like pull-ups and off the dribble shooting. He can run the pick and roll. He's excellent when he actually gets to run the point guard position and he actually gets to play that role. He's up there with the best of them. The three-point shooting, hopefully that sticks. You have your concerns when guys come to the Lakers, but if he continues to shoot 40% from three, then that's huge. The ceiling with Dejounte Murray is higher than with D'Lo and Reeves. It is. The downside to that, though, is Dejounte Murray isn't a great finisher around the rim. It's something that's plagued him his entire career. Defensively, he's been worse than D'Lo this year. He's been terrible defensively. How much of that is he's on the Atlanta Hawks and no one else plays defense on Atlanta, and he's got to make up for Trae Young and his lack of defense, where if it came to a Laker team, you got Anthony Davis, you got Jared Vanderbilt, you got Cam Reddish, you got guys that can defend, and even just serviceable defenders and like Taurean Prince, stuff like that, right? So his lack of finishing around the rim, his lack of defense, the concern of his three-point shot falling, and then lastly, the biggest struggle he's had, or the reason he's had so much struggles in Atlanta, is him having to play off ball so much, right? Because Trae Young is just such a high usage guy, on the ball so heavy, that Dejounte Murray's basically had to evolve his game entirely to go from being a point guard to basically a two guard. And he's had some struggles. He's been much better this year than he was last year, but still, he's not great. And playing alongside LeBron James, guess what? You're going to have to play off ball a lot. So now if LeBron does what he's been doing with D'Lo, then I think it'll be okay, right? If LeBron says, okay, I'm going to let, like Dejounte Murray's going to come and I'm going to let him run the show and I'm going to play off ball and then my time's to dominate the ball, but Dejounte Murray's the point guard, let him be point guard, then I think the Lakers will be good. And I think you should do the trade. And that I've kind of made the argument that might be why LeBron has kind of played off ball. Also, Dejounte Murray keeps dropping like these subtleties and like, again, tinfoil hat on, right? Let's put our tinfoil hats on for a minute. Like Dejounte Murray keeps posting stuff like a selfie with the images with like a song called like "Get It Done," and then he had like another post where he's like on a yellow court and it's just like the court in his shoes and he says something. I actually like saved the image. Let me see if I can find it. What was it? It was damn it here. Where did I save it at? Hang on, give me a second. Let me see if I can pull it up. Oh, here it is. It was "Tell Me When to Go" is what it was, and it's just like him with like a yellow court. I don't know if you could even see that because my yellow background, but yeah. Anyway, it's just basically his shoes on a yellow court, and it says "Tell Me When to Go" in yellow, and he just keeps dropping these subtleties. Right, like tell me when to go, get it done, and everyone's just kind of like, all right, could it make it more obvious? Type thing. Thanks, Tyler. No problem. D'Lo has been sensational in January. He's looking like his former All-Star self out there. He's been ridiculous. Turkey for him. Levine is a perfect fit, but he's injured again. So how does that help the Lakers right now? Oh, to Andrew. Yeah, he's going to be out another week. Caruso and Drummond would be nice. I wouldn't mind that at all. Last 5 games, D'Lo's averaging 27, 8, 2, and or 27.8, 2 rebounds, and 6.4 assists. Yeah, he has been next level D'Lo. He has been ridiculous. I'm so impressed by his play. I'm right there with you. Need defense, however, yeah, they got to lock down and be better. We need two-way players who excel on both ends. Agreed. I think the refs not giving LeBron 2 free throws is ridiculous. Absolutely. Like, the guy can't get a call to save his life, and it makes 0 sense. Let's see. No, keep Prince in the starting lineup. Vando hasn't scored 17 anytime soon. It's more about the balance is what it is. Like D'Lo for Murray talk is honestly just driving me insane, to tell the truth. This is team really give up a first and some for players for of the same caliber. I mean, Dejounte, like I like D'Lo. D'Lo's been amazing, but I mean, Dejounte Murray's better than D'Lo. I don't think he's like 2 first better than D'Lo, but I understand the logic in it of like Dejounte Murray's 27. Right, so you go get him. Now you have him on a very serviceable contract. He's only making like $25 million a year on average over the course of his contract. Even post LeBron, you basically have your all-star caliber point guard and your center to build around, right? So even when LeBron leaves, you have basically your 2 all-star level players. Now you're just looking for that like second or third guy, right? And then just the complementary pieces around it. So I get it, but personally, I don't think the Lakers should give up 2 firsts for him. Like, I don't think they should give up a first and a pick swap. Like, to me, I'd kind of be like, do you want the first or do you want the pick swap? But, you know, if Dejounte Murray works and he comes to the Lakers and he balls out, well, then I think he'd be good, you know? Then I think it'll be worth it. But time will tell. Who's affordable 2-way wing on the market? I mean, right now, no one's affordable because every team has, like, insane asks for everybody because we're still 2 weeks away from the trade deadline. But once we get to the trade deadline, I think guys like Royce O'Neal, Dorian Finney-Smith, Miles Bridges is on the market, but will the Lakers go and make a move for him? Because there's concerns about you won't be able to re-sign him. And then we'll have to see who else just becomes available on the market. But those are guys that like come to mind immediately. That should make a lot of sense. I wish we got OG Anunoby. That would have been great. OG is too good. OG might be the best 3-and-D guy in the league. I'm not familiar with Dorian Finney-Smith's game. Can he be a poor man's OG? If he can be like Dallas's conference finals run, Dorian Finney-Smith, yeah. I mean, he's a bit old. He's 30. He's not as like quick-footed and athletic as OG, but he's a guy that's shooting like 44% from three or 42% from three on the season. He's on a little slump right now, but outside of that, like he's a guy you can put on the best player, defend multiple positions. He's got good size, good strength. He's veteran. He's got good IQ. He has the experience. He's been there. He's done that. Yeah, I mean, yeah, like a poor man's OG. Yeah, Dorian Finney-Smith might be the best available wing on the market, but we'll see. The trade is Rui, Jax, and Cam for Williams and Drummond. Rui ain't. His play does not match his contract and has missed 30% of the games. Vando has passed him, and Denver's honeymoon is over. Rui's issue is just the fit. He just doesn't. As long as LeBron's on this team, he's never going to get the opportunity because he can't play the three, and LeBron has to play the four at this point in his career, and he's best at the four. So it's just more about fit, which is why I've said you should trade Rui. I just don't think that they should keep Rui around because, again, he's not going to have the opportunity. And LeBron isn't going anywhere anytime soon. LeBron's probably going to play at least another 2-3 years. At that point, Rui is going to need a new contract, and he's probably leaving, right? So that's my problem. But how is Jonathan Isaac doing? He can shoot threes. How is his health? That's the problem. Like the guy just can't stay on the court. It's unfortunate. He was looking like he might be the next great like power forward in the league and just can't. Kuminga's going crazy. Yeah, I would love Kuminga. What about Andrew Wiggins? He magically just became so bad. Yeah, he's been awful this year. Apparently, the Lakers offered D'Lo for Andrew Wiggins. Yeah, like Andrew said, Dorian Finney-Smith is ideal next to LeBron. Too bad they asked you 2 first for him, and yeah. Yeah, like I said, a lot of teams ask for everything, right? Like the Utah Jazz were demanding that we give 2 firsts, and that they weren't going to give us Jared Vanderbilt, that they wanted to keep Jared Vanderbilt, and we had to give up 2 firsts. Like the trade was supposed to be completely different. It was like Mike Conley, Rudy Gay, and Malik Beasley, I think is what it was. Something along those lines. And the Lakers just said no. And then all of a sudden it became, all right, we'll give you Jared Vanderbilt. Okay, we'll work out this 3-team deal and get you D'Lo. Okay, like we'll take a protected first. I mean, the price dropped like 90%, which will probably happen, right? They want 2 firsts right now. You throw that out there because if a team's dumb enough to give it to you, then you take it. But once you get to the trade deadline, all of a sudden that 2 firsts becomes 2 seconds. Levine is how we get Caruso and Drummond yet. Most Laker fans on Twitter sell low and buy high. I'm still with Levine trading Austin Reeves. Just put you in a bad spot for the future. I wouldn't mind Levine, and I mean Reeves may hurt you long term in the future, but like Levine is. I mean Austin Reeves. Like I think people forget, and I'm not talking about you, Legacy. I'm just speaking generally. Like I get a lot of comments and stuff where like I feel like people think Austin Reeves is like 22 or like 19 or something. Right, because I get so many people that are just like, oh, like Austin Reeves, he has so much upside, he has this and he's that. It's like, dude, the guy's 25. Like Zach LaVine and Dejounte Murray are only like 2 years older than him, right? So like, I would basically trade everybody to go get Dejounte Murray and Zach LaVine because now you're good for now and the future. You're good for now and post LeBron James. You basically have LeBron James, Anthony Davis, Dejounte Murray and Zach LaVine plus Jared Vanderbilt There's your starting five. You basically have that starting five for the next 4 years minimum, or let's call it 2 years because LeBron probably leaves. And then when LeBron leaves, you're just looking for a complementary piece. You're not even looking maybe you're trying to go get a center and move AD to the 4, right? And you just want to go get a serve. You don't even need a legit set. You just need a serviceable one. And so now you got Dejounte Murray, Zach LaVine, Jared Vanderbilt, Anthony Davis, and then a center. Boom, there you go. You're good. now you can still compete for championships. If they don't put better players around Curry, you might have to call for trade. The problem is I don't think Steph Curry would. I don't think he would ask or request a trade. I just don't. I don't see him doing that. That's why I think it would be up to the organization. The organization would have to be hey, we're gonna trade you. Right? They would have to bring it up. Let's see. My organic chemistry teacher is a Celtics fan and watches hella basketball, and I vividly remember him predicting that we will move from D'Lo last year. It's insane looking back now. Yeah. Hey, you know, I love listening to people's perspectives and stuff. And it's always funny looking back, going, "Oh man, that guy was right," or "Oh man, I didn't think of that." It is. That's why I always open up for conversations and stuff because I do. I love it. Yeah, you got to get more than just Dejounte. LaVine at least has some length and can rebound. That athleticism. Closing lineup featuring Caruso, Vanderbilt, Davis, D'Lo, and Braun would be insane. Those 3 defensive stalwarts would eye D'Lo on defense. Yeah, that would be fantastic. D'Lo does have a 6'10" wingspan. Yes. Let's see. True, but the Nets want a first-round pick for Finney Smith, and the Lakers would need to trade a first pick for Caruso. See, Caruso, I definitely think they'd get a first-round pick for. Dorian Finney-Smith, I don't think that they will. And if they do, it'll be either insanely protected or it'll be some super late pick. I think Dorian Finney-Smith eventually goes for 2 seconds. But all right, here I'm gonna power through a couple more, and then I'm gonna skate on out of here because I got to start setting up for videos for tomorrow and everything. So let's power through a couple more. I've been going an hour and a half, so obviously any super chats or anything I'll prioritize. But other than that, I'm just gonna go down the list here. I've been watching with other big 3. They're very dangerous, and then the role players like Grayson Allen. Grayson Allen is shooting crazy from 3 and can double Durant, Beal, Book. It's kind of a nightmare. Yeah, I mean offensively they're great. I still don't believe in the Phoenix Suns. I just think come playoffs, they're so reliant on jump shooting. Teams are gonna defensive scheme properly to slow them down. Obviously, if they just have insane shooting games, and they have insane shooting games, but the lack of defense, they still have to be able to stop teams. They can't rebound well. They don't do anything else. They're solely banking on Durant, Beal, and Booker being great. How crazy would it be if the Clippers and the Suns play each other in the first round, which is very likely to happen the way both teams are playing, right? So right now, the Suns are the 5th seed, Clippers are the 4 seed, and the Suns are 3 games back of the Clippers. Now, the problem is Denver could end up slipping, or if the Clippers continue to win, they could actually end up catching the 2 seed or the 1 seed. But man, imagine if the Clippers or the Suns ended up playing each other in the first round. That would be hilarious. Because one of them's got to lose. Which I think the Clippers win that series, but still, that'd be pretty insane. Assuming everyone's healthy on all parts, but we stuck with him. Yeah. I mean, look, if he comes back and he's great, then I think it'll be all right. And look, he's a guy that picks it up and plays great in the playoffs. And so if he could be that, then I think that's huge for the Lakers. Because that could kind of be another guy, right? Because he hasn't really played all season. So it's like if he could come in and be, basically be the guy he was for Miami last year, that's like getting another player, right? Without even trading. So, but to be fair, we said the same thing about Kendrick Nunn, and he just that worked out horribly. What's going on, Mark? How are you? Let's see. I think the Lakers might just wait until the offseason and get Ice Trey or Donovan Mitchell. I mean, it's a possibility. It's definitely an option. My problem is like there's no guarantee that those guys become available, and there's no guarantee we could trade for them, right? Like who's Donovan Mitchell wants to be in New York, right? So like he can control where he wants to go. So like, what if he's like, I only want to go to Brooklyn, or like I only want to go to the Knicks or something like that, right? Like because the problem was he couldn't control it last time because he was under contract for another 3 years. Right now, next year would be his last year. So now he could, or technically could be, because he could opt in to his deal, but he could also use that as a power play to go get to where he wants. Like, hey, if you trade me to any of these places, I'm just going to opt out. Let's see. Tyler, where did you go to college? Did you go for your capology in economics? Let's see what else. Might as well keep this roster. Probably just trade Rui for Dorian Smith or Royce O'Neal, but that's all. If we don't, just rebuild. Let LeBron walk, so LeBron can go else improve. Problem is LeBron's not going to leave. He's not here for just basketball reasons. He's here for his family. This is where they wanted to be. He still has another son that's going to schools out here. He's not leaving. They got to go forward too. They have to. They don't really have a choice. Otherwise, they're gonna be in big trouble. That Murray trade will be a mess. The team won't make the playoffs with him. That lane will be clogged. I don't know. I mean, look, I definitely have my concerns, Ghost. Like, without a doubt, I've expressed them heavily as far as my concerns go with Dejounte Murray. But if he can continue to shoot well and continue to shoot in the pull-up game the way that he has and off the dribble, like he could be really good for the Lakers. Like I said, the upside is higher with Dejounte Murray, but I do have concerns about that, right? Like, it sounds good on paper, but does that translate? If it does, then the Lakers could be tough. But I still think even if you get Dejounte Murray, you got to get more. You got to get something else. But we'll see. Time will tell. Sorry, trying to find something. Murray's gonna have a blast with Laker fans. Yeah, and he's already like going at like Atlanta fans and stuff. Like, just wait till he's a Laker. I really want us to keep D'Lo. I am with you too. I really do. Exactly, like a first and a pick swap is just disrespectful to us, in my opinion. Not for B, who has been balling out. Like, it's just bad from value perspective alone. Just my opinion, though. No, I get it, and that's kind of my issue too. But the Lakers are probably going to do it. Look, if Dejounte Murray turns back into San Antonio Dejounte Murray and he is just great defensively and balling out, then we'll look back and we won't care. But time will tell. We'll see. We will see. We need Clippers to play Denver. Yeah, right. let one of those guys get eliminated. That's another one too. I mean, that entire like top column, right? Like you're talking like the Nuggets, the Clippers, and the Suns. More likely than not, two of those three are going to play each other. More likely than not. So you're talking that either the Nuggets are going to play the Clippers or the Suns, or the Clippers and the Suns are going to play. It's more likely than not what's going to happen, which is that's going to be a hell of a first round. Would you rather trade D'Lo or Reeves? Personally, I'd rather trade Reeves, but they're going to trade D'Lo because it's not just about the salary. Or it's not just about the play; it's about the salary. Sorry. What's going on, LeBronto? Appreciate you being here. About to end this stream here in a moment. Is Gabe Vincent, Jax for Caruso Drummond possible? No, I just don't see it. One, they want 2 firsts for. I mean, money wise, yes, but as far as like realistic possibility, that would be the biggest ripoff in NBA history by the Lakers. Because Gabe Vincent just hasn't played all year. They also want like 2 firsts for Caruso, and they'll probably get it from somebody because he's that much of an impact guy. So yeah, no, I wouldn't count on something like that. All right. I think I'm going to skate on out of here. I appreciate all of you. Thank you all so very much for hanging out with me. Seriously, you guys are awesome. Great conversation as always. You guys are beautiful. Make sure to hit that like button. If you haven't hit that like button, hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button on the way out if you're not subscribed and you're watching the stream. And let's keep this momentum. Let's keep getting these wins. Let's keep playing well. Hopefully we get a trade done in the next day or two. That would be nice. That'd be beautiful. But anyway, again, I will see you guys all in the next one. Have a good night and see you.